Let's start from the bottom, which is your physical layer, but we will progress from the lowest layer to the highest. And so physical, one of the most important layers in our industry, because you will be dealing with networking cables, you will be dealing with ports, you're going to be dealing with ruggedized hardware. And so in a nutshell, when we talk about Ethernet-based protocols, you're going to be dealing with a lot of these RJ45 either pre-molded or cables that you can create by crimping, because you're pulling those network cases through conduit and different enclosures. Unlike the traditional network setting where everything is nice and neat, the physical layer doesn't always get troubleshot. On the plant side, this is very different because, as I've said, number one, the cables are rarely going to be pre-molded. The cables are usually ran high voltage lines, which creates noise and traffic, obviously, in the packets, but the physical layer is very important to understand for someone working on the OT side. Next, we have the data link layer. This often refers to your MAC addresses. What I want you to also retain is the layer numbers, because in certain instances, when you talk to people at the plant, but more often people that you will call upon on the IT side, they will refer to them as a layer 1 problem, a layer 2 problem, a layer 3, so on and so forth. So you should also be familiar in a general sense when we're talking about where the problem actually is. Data link refers to the MAC addresses. And so if I refer back to the ISP device that I had shown you in one of the videos, we will talk about MAC addresses in a lot more detail, but basically you will have a label on almost every device that's going to specify the MAC address of that specific piece of hardware. For example, this is an opto controller from Arduino. You're also going to have an Ethernet port, and there's going to be a MAC address specified, usually on the label on the side or on the front of that specific item. And so anything that has an Ethernet based connection is going to have basically a MAC address. Like I said, we're going to talk into a bit more detail in a different video. Here's an IPC from Phoenix Contact. It has 2 Ethernet ports, and those are going to have a MAC address.